Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy. Still making my way through my last hurrah of deck purchasing. So, as I had mentioned in another Oracle of the Angels or Oracle of Angels, something like that. I don't know if it was exactly the same title or nearly the same title. By a different person, I felt like I needed angels in my I needed to have angels represented in my deck collection. They were kind of the last to arrive, and so I went looking for something that was non-Doreen Virtue, and there were some really classic looking ones that didn't quite work for me. And even with this one that I got, I'm not sure that I realized that they're all named, because I really don't like the whole naming of the angels thing. Because to me that enters into a tradition that I do not belong to. But the thing that I liked about this one, and it opens kind of like a donut box. So it has these flaps, or maybe a pizza box, something like that. So I call these the Beefcake Angels, because we've got some pretty ripped angels in this deck. And so there are like a few women, like 2 or 3, but most of them are men. And I liked that about this, because that is my understanding, is if you're going to give them the names, then if they are the angels, that the angels were men. I'm not sure when they all started to become women. I don't know when that started, but I like the idea of, we refer to the divine masculine, and yet a lot of decks don't explore the positive masculine attributes. I've got the Sol Invictus Tarot as, it's attached to myths, and myths can be pretty broad. If you have a hero, there are positive and negative aspects of the person's life. So I like the idea of having a collection of male angels, beefcake or not, to refer to the positive aspect of men and their roles in society. So I don't know how many angels we have here. I don't know technically how many angels there were supposed to ever be, but this is from 2014. This is divided, which I hadn't noticed when I did a little flip through of them prior to this, into earth, air, fire, and water. So they're divided into elements. And you're not going to tell me how many cards are in here? It's a Llewellyn deck. Does it say on the outside? And just get 40 cards. So there's 40 cards. So there's 10 angels in each element. Okay, so let's check out the beefcake guys. I'm not going to say the names. For some reason, I just find angel names irritating. They're all like end in EL. but you'll see. There are some older ones, but they're mostly, well, there's one with brown hair, blonde hair. You know, it's very Caucasian. At least there's some variety in the beefcake. So there's an older one. There's a female. I'm going to set the females aside just to see how many there are. There's a skinhead angel. Oh, look at that. We get double. We get double beefcake because we have this one. But of course he's covered up, and he's, even though he still looks like a model or something, he doesn't look like. But then there's that other card is inset in there we've got. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to indicate. But it's great that they are studious muscle men. A guy with a fish. Raphael. You know, and at least they're not, they're not, that's a friendly face. This is a friendly face. Not sure what he's doing when he's gesturing over this sleeping person, but so there's a female angel. I'll put her aside with the symbol of Gemini for whatever reason. What does he have in his hand? It's a heart. And there's another symbol that I don't recall the name of, another female. So I wonder if it's the females who represent whether planets or, we'll have to see. I'll have to look them up. So this is definitely referring to a season or seasons. And again, at least they're smiling. I like that. He's smiling. Men with children. Monkmen. It's funny. I wonder why he has little wings. There's got to be a story there, especially with that lady lurking in the doorway. Look at him. Well, this is Michael, right? Yeah, this is Michael. The god of war. Look at those thighs. But I don't know. I do like these cards, despite their, some of the issues here. I like the number of bookish angels there seem to be. Oh, there's an archer there. Could refer to Sagittarius. It could refer to oh, who's the wounded healer? The centaur. I'm not sure. But no, that is an archer on a horse, so probably more likely a Sagittarius influence or suggestion, illusion. It's a very hierophanty feel to that card. Actually, with the lantern, a very hermitish feel to that card. Muskoxen in the background. So the closest that we come to a person of color is this, which is really weird. So there's a weird vibe going on that way. Beautiful moon in the background. There's another female, that makes 3. This female does not have any sort of symbol. There's a very young one. Oops, I thought I had 2 cards. This looks like it's a lightning bolt. Oh, I am so sorry. This looks like it has a lightning bolt. Quite a few couples in here, which I hadn't noticed the first time that I went through. Another older gentleman. Look at that. It just cracks me up. I don't know if he's a teacher or if this is a choir back here. You know, it could be that I actually, not coming from this tradition, that I actually might need the humorous beefcake aspect to even just get through this sort of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 female angels. There are actually quite a few children in this deck too. I might go through this deck and do that. Couples and children. So I might run through it really quickly and just see what we have. So here's children, I think. That is children in the background. I don't know, is it men and women or is it children? Maybe it's men. I'm not going to call it children. So I'll mix up the male and female now that we see that. But here's somebody with children. No, there's a couple. I'll put them up here. There's a couple. 2 people conversing, but not a couple. This has a couple. Couple with children. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't call that a couple, and that's just a weird card. Children again. Oh, whoops. This is the children card, or pile. It's a couple again. Child. Child. Couple. Appears to be a couple there. Couple. The angel doesn't count as one of the couples, as part of the couple. Couple. Child. So let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards with, or 7 cards with children. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards with couples in it. So that's interesting. just in general for a deck to have that many kids in the deck. The backings are really weird. You can see that they're supposed to be gold, but when the light isn't on them, they look sort of like an olive green. Not the most attractive of backs. Stars are nice. I don't know if they're supposed to represent a particular what do we call those patterns in the sky that we name the zodiac signs? And my mind is going. So pretty flimsy cardstock, frankly, and so so very easy to shuffle. That's always the plus side of flimsy cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more shuffle. Stand it up. Let's divide the deck. Let's look at a card. So we have, do they have? They must be, I don't know if they're alphabetical. I thought this was like near the end. They don't seem to quite have 6 and 9 and 7 and 8 and 2. So where are the higher numbers? 7, 8. So their numbers are weird. I'm not sure what the numbers are even referring to. Okay, so we have the color of the lettering. That's what it is. So this would be the 9 of water, I assume. Either the 9 of water or the 9 of air. Unfortunately, in the guidebook, you're just looking at cards 6, 7, 8, 9, and they don't give you a symbol on the pages regarding what suit you're in. So you'll just have to which one is this? This is the fire. So you have what happened? All right, what are we starting with? The water cards. Water cards start on page 85. Here he is. Chamuel is the archangel of joy, beauty, unconditional love, and all committed relationships. He is in charge of all the singing in heaven. So these are choirs, people in a choir. However, he is also has a stronger, more assertive side, as he is also the ruler of Mars. Chamuel is the ruler of the choir of dominions and one of the chief angels in the choir of powers. Chamuel and Gabriel are believed to be the angels who gave strength to Jesus in the garden at Gethsemane. Chamuel wears light blue robes and holds a scroll in one hand. He has dark brown hair and wears a small crown to signify his role as ruler of the choir of dominions. See, and this is part of the issue. It's like that. The choir of dominions means nothing to me. Behind him, a chorus is singing. So, it says that gives a challenge. So there's understanding. So each each one. So you've got card 9, you've got the name of the angel, and then you have, similar to this. This is not about understanding the card. This is a keyword for this archangel. And one of the things that doesn't make sense to me is that what I just read doesn't strike me as having anything to do with understanding. And then on the next page, we have this thing called a challenge. And every card has a challenge. So if we look at the next card, we have the name of the angel, but we have a different keyword here for loyalty. But we do have a challenge on the other side. So I'm guessing the challenge is for maybe reversal. So it says challenge. Someone close to you will need your tolerance and understanding. So there's the word understanding finally coming up. Be patient, offer your support, and do what you can to help. You can ask questions later once the situation has resolved. For the moment, be sympathetic, understanding, and helpful. So that's lovely, but to me it has nothing to do with his position in the choir. How does that have any? To me, this would have the leading the collective voice or something like that. So let's try. So if I were to keep these cards, assuming I keep these cards, I would have to write something somewhere, maybe on his nice white wing, about what I would perceive as the meaning of the card. I would have to write on this to put some kind of keyword. So let's go ahead. Oh, I had 2 cards and didn't even realize it. So let's take, oh, that's right, I flipped this one over because I was looking at the numbers. Didn't make sense. So this is green, so it must be earth, right? So this is the 6 of earth. I just want to see if they're all as disconnected as I'll have to read the guidebook. It's pretty clear I need to read the guidebook because there are archangels associated with each element, so I'm not sure what the breakdown is within it. Let me see if what he has in the front matter. He has numerology in the front matter, the archangels. So these are angels, but they're not all archangels. You see, I had no idea about the hierarchy of angels. He says he's taking them from various places. He talks about angels in general. So Earth Angels start on 19. Isn't there a song? Earth Angel. And here he is, Chamuel. All right, his, looks like he has a calla lily there. His keyword is idealism. So let's read about him. He is a chief of the choir of virtues and ruler of August. So I would have to put like virtue, August. He looks after people born under the sign of Virgo. He wears pale green robes and has a Star of David. I think that must be that. Hanging on a chain around his neck. He holds a lily in one hand. So that's it. It's just a description of the card for the most part and of that particular angel. The challenge, you have chosen this card, or you have drawn this card because you need to realize the world is not perfect and people may not always live up to your expectations. Take life as it comes. Go with the flow and do something frivolous every now and again. purely for the fun of it. So that's somebody being critical about Virgo. So yeah, I definitely see the reasons why this deck didn't catch on. And I think he has some interesting information in here. So in the back, he has readings with the 4 elements, and each of the archangels specifically. Angel card numbers. So this is a 6. 6 is responsible, sympathetic, caring numbers that relates to service, friendship, compassion, tolerance, love, and responsibilities of home and family. And this was a 9. 9 is a selfless number that relates to courage, friendship, selflessness, impartial love, and humanitarianism. A mix of astrology is chapter 10. It just shows the astrological signs and the angel associated to each sign. Birthday ritual. And then I don't know if this is supposed to be a reading at the very end. So I will give this deck a chance. There are some spreads working with the cards, an angel journal, current situation spread, specific questions, date of birth reading, rituals, sacred space, protection, card of the day. I'll give this deck a chance, but I'm not sure how to read it. And, you know, like, even with the guidebook, it's a little bizarre. Yeah, I don't know if I would have to, again, write keywords on their fancy garments, on their wings, along the sides of the cards, in order to make sense of them. Obviously, the names mean nothing to me. Or just go strictly, I could see choosing, like, if this is supposed to be understanding, which I really don't get out of this. Maybe, but from what's written in there, maybe one keyword. I would rather go by the picture, although this picture doesn't give me that much. So I'm going to extend this reading just a little bit. I'm going to look at all the ones that have books in them, because there were quite a few that had books, and just see what I can. Oh, it's a scroll, a scroll. I kind of wonder if the ones with children and couples really have much to do with anything. Alright, so there weren't that many. There's just 3. I guess I like books enough. So he has a clock, so that could have its own meaning, as well as the fact that he's older. And we do have youth, middle age, old age here, so that's interesting. And this guy with his book is a picture here. So there could be some parallels in the images. So here he's reading and he's outside. These are both earth elements. These are two earth elements and a fire element. So he's reading inside and he's reading outside. I'm going to flip through the book and I'm just going to read out each angel's, just the keyword. So we have ambition, patience, creativity, self-discipline, trust, and that was on one of the couples cards, idealism, spirituality, persistence, wisdom, and that's the young man with all of the books, knowledge, which is the guy that was indoors with the scroll, and those were the earth elements. So we're now entering the air elements, healing, emotions, opportunity, sexuality, and that was one of the cards with a couple on it, friendship, help, protection, fruitfulness, that's another card with a couple on it, compassion, understanding. So there's two cards with understanding. We have the guy with the little wings who look like a monk. He has understanding. And the one that I had read earlier was understanding. So let's see if there's any other duplications. We're entering the fire element, strength, patience, good fortune, self-respect, friendship. And didn't we already have friendship? Let's see, integrity, guidance, courage. Did we have courage already? Independence, ultimate success. That's one that had a couple on it. Love has a couple on it. Clairvoyancy. Never heard of clairvoyancy. Love, which I thought we'd already had, not sure. Emotional energy, positivity, love again within the same suit. Peace, tenacity. There's the understanding that I read about, loyalty, and I think that's the end. Oh, angel decks are just so full of problems. Oh well. So here it is. This may be a deck that I regret. I have to be honest. It may be a deck that I regret. I'm not 100% on regretting it yet, but the only way that I'm likely to use this is if I make it impossible to pass on by scribbling on it. And I don't know if that's the best idea. I don't know. If any of you guys have an opinion on this, put it down in the comments. If you see this and you say, oh my gosh, that's the ultimate angel deck that I have always been wanting, let me know and maybe we can work something out. But I'm a little skeptical on this one, and not because of the beefcake, but just because of the, it just doesn't seem structured very well, and doesn't give us a lot of clues on the cards themselves. So, hard to say what's going to come of this deck amongst my many decks. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.